Nice to see you, my friend. Um, we'll see what you guys want to talk about. I thought I'd talk a little bit about, well, I'm going to start over with Course in Miracles workbook. I'm going to do it in 3-minute shorts or less. After consulting with the ever wise, ever helpful, ever insightful Cat and Jack. Speaking of which, there is Cat and Jack. How are you, Cat? But you know what? I'm often asked, how do you forgive? It's an important question. Cat's laughing. Professor says I haven't read lesson 2 and 3. I must catch up after stream. You can wait. Well, I'm gonna do the introduction, not to the workbook, but to the entire book. And then I guess tomorrow I'll start over with 1. I'm gonna lost at creative ideas. Mainly because, limited technology. Um, and I'm not a visual type of um artist. I do consider myself a writer, and I do like to arrange it a certain way. So maybe I'm a bit more visual than I give myself credit for. Hey, MK. Got some good working on Tarot Today Short. Part of lessons have been super relevant for me. Wow. I'm looking for, is it posted today? I hope so. Just because I enjoy them so much. Is this a lesson that you mentioned earlier? I'm going to read some of my all-time favorite lesson, and then we'll cover how do you do it. Hey, the Reinhardts. Everyone's saying hi. So I'm going to start with 121, just read a little bit. 122, just read a little bit of it. Here's 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Who doesn't want to be happy? But we're talking a different kind of happiness. We're talking about a happiness that does not rely on something to be happy for. Because what happens if you lose that something? What happens if that something changes? What happens if that something leaves? If your happiness is conditional, it's not real happiness, it's conditional happiness. So, with forgiveness being the key to happiness, it's taking you to something that cannot ever be taken away from you. And it gives you a method, a practical working meditation. Forgiveness is really meditation, instant meditation, Zen at its finest. So here's the answer to your search for peace. Here's the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here's the way to safety. Here's the way to safety and apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty to all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all questions answered. Here, the end of all uncertainty ensured at last. The unforgiving mind is full of fear and offers love no room to be itself, no place where it can spread its wings in peace and soar above the turmoil of the world. The unforgiving mind is sad without the hope of respite and release from pain. It suffers and abides in misery, peering about in darkness, seeing not, yet certain of the dangers lurking there. Hey, Hamlada, how are you? Hey, Sniper. The unforgiving mind is torn with doubt, confused about itself and all it sees, afraid and angry, weak and blustering, afraid to go ahead, afraid to stay, afraid to waken or to go to sleep. afraid of every sound, yet more afraid of stillness. That's true for a lot of people. That's why people have such a difficult time meditating. Terrified of darkness, yet more terrified at the approach of light. Well, that sounds like anxiety, doesn't it? What can the unforgiving mind perceive but its damnation? What can it behold except a proof that all its sins are real? So it goes on. Does not paint a very nice picture of the unforgiving mind. Amada says, nice, nice. So, forgiveness is acquired. It is not inherent in the mind which cannot sin. That's the true nature of the mind. The true nature of the mind, it cannot sin. It can certainly make a mistake on the level of form. On the level of form, you could even judge something as being a sin, but that's just a level of form. Forgiveness, true forgiveness, takes you deeper. Deep inner surrender, 109. I rest in God. We'll cover that too. Hey, Kay. So this is why we don't forgive. We turn everything to what the Course calls the Holy Spirit. You can call the Tao, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Buddha mind. I've heard some people refer to it as the inner therapist, which I like. So that unforgiving mind, remember, that painted a total picture of anxiety. And so many of us suffer from anxiety these days, myself included. Sebastian says, Kay, self-stars, hey folks. Hey Sissy, I didn't see you come in. As sin is an idea you were taught. You taught yourself. Forgiveness must be learned by you as well. So since we had to teach ourselves what sin meant to us, remember, it's not inherent in a loving heart. It is not inherent in a natural state of restful awareness of which the mind is. So it must be learned from a teacher, our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit. I got to be careful. I almost put myself in the eye, emphasizing. Through him, the Holy Spirit, you learn how to forgive the self you think you made and let it disappear. What we are judging is not, what we are forgiving is not another. We are forgiving our own sense of judgment. That what I see is something permanent and lasting and damaging. That what I see is the entirety of a person and not just a mistake that they made. And some people say, but what if they're unrepentant for that mistake? It's not for us to judge for our own peace of mind. Let me go on to here's the end meditation for this. And then I'll catch up with you guys. Sorry to be going on and on. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible, and full of sin, and know I am the perfect Son of God. So this is how to forgive. One method. Hey, Life on Random. And then I promise you, I will catch up with the chat. Might even talk about something else. Maybe. So, thinking of someone you do not like, who seems to irritate you or to cause regret in you if you should meet him. One you actively despise or merely try to overlook. It does not matter what form your anger takes. You might have chosen them already. Now close your eyes and see him or her in your mind and look at him for a while. Try to perceive some light in him somewhere, a little gleam, which you had never noticed. Try to find some little spark of brightness shining through the ugly picture that you hold of him. Look at this picture till you see a light somewhere within it, and then try to let this light extend until it covers him or her and make the picture beautiful and good. Look at this changed perception for a while and turn your mind to one you call a friend. Try to transform the light you learned to see around your former enemy to him. Transfer that over. To see him now as more than a friend to you, for in that light his holiness shows you your Savior, saved and saved, healing and whole. Then let him offer you the light you see in him, and let your enemy and friend unite in blessing you with what you gave. Now you are one with them, and they with you. Now you have been forgiven by yourself. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Hey, Karen. Do not forget throughout the day the role forgiveness plays in bringing happiness to every unforgiving mind, with yours among them. All right, let me catch up. So all forgiveness is seeing the truth, seeing the light. This reminds me of Mother Teresa when she was asked, how do you show up at work every day in the orphanage hospital with the sickest of the sick children? And then how do you spend your supposed free time tending to the poor, the wounded, the diseased out in the streets? She said, I simply see the face of Christ within everyone I meet. That's forgiveness. All right. Hey, Wilson. Wilson, how's the arm? Wilson says, slow, so stress. I have a test tomorrow and exams start on Friday. I forgot to. No one forgets to study. For my test, help. First off, relax. Cover the key principles that you're able to and the time that you have without stressing. Everything that's going to be on the test has been covered in class. You've heard your teacher say it before. You've read it before. You have all the information that you need, and it'll come to you if you relax. Breathe. Deep breaths in through the nose and a longer exhalation out through your nose. Make sure you breathe before your test and trust the same intelligence that causes the sun to shine, the moon to exert its gravitational force upon the tides, the same intelligence that causes your heart to beat and your lungs to pump, and knows exactly what to do without you telling it, exists as you and within you, and will come through for you if you allow it. Rest. Relax. Skim through all the information that you know is going to be there. Skim through the information and just trust. And next time, pay attention. Kat says, perfect, perfect. Son of God. Kay, how are you? What's new in the garden, Kay? Oh, and I ran out of my ADHD meds. I have faith in you. Wilson, I have faith in you. Karen says, slow, hope you're doing well. I am, my friend. Let me go to lesson 109 for Kat. I rest in God. I rest in God. This thought will bring you to the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances at the same truth in everyone and everything there is. Everyone and everything there is. They rest within God too. They don't remember it. When you remember it, when you know it, even if there's a little bit of doubt, you have a responsibility, your ability to respond to other people in a more meaningful way. We become less reactive, less prone to flip someone off in a traffic jam, less prone to take offense if someone says something untoward. a word I don't think I've ever used before, but I know it's a word. Um, Here's the end of suffering for all the world. I rest in God, and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself. Powerful lesson, Kat. Thank you for bringing that up. Sometimes I'm tempted to do the course out of order in video form. Wilson says, what is a time order phrase? Fortunately, I'm not the one taking the test, so I don't know. But you know. Sebastian says, I always admire the people who forgive and forget and not take occasional swipes. So, let me ask you a question, Sebastian. What prevents you from being a people that you admire? How about just one thing? What's the one thing that prevents you from being a people you admire? I know I'm supposed to say person. People just sounded better. People sounds more verbing. And as mentioned, we're verbs. Karen says, how you doing today, Kat? I got to hang out with Karen on her live stream today. It was beautiful. Hey, Jace, I don't know if you realize this, but you're upside down.
I thought I'd come and hang out with you for a little while.
I appreciate that.
Steve, did you see that?
I did see that.
Hang on a second.
Nope.
Wait.
She knows that you're occupied. She knows what she's doing.
She knows I'm busy.
Yep.
So, how are we?
Good. How are you? Besides being upside down.
Just hanging about. Happy hump day.
Hey, Adam.
I suppose it's a first, isn't it?
Happy Wednesday to you, Sweating and Smiling, or happy Wednesday to you, Jace. Happy Wednesday to Sweating and Smiling. I haven't seen you for a while.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're all well. Obviously, I'm just hanging out, as you do.
Skin the cat. Nice. No offense, cat.
Oh, yeah. Slightly redhead. How are we all? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you.
There we go. A slightly little dizzy head. What a great day. Weather's been absolutely beautiful. Took Zena out for an amazing walk, nearly 2 hours. We went to a beautiful little field. It was just absolutely full. It was just a sea of buttercups, a plain of yellow. Amazing
Nice.
little sight. I did a little live as well.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed you.
You'll be able to see. It's there for you to see.
I'll
But
look for
anyway,
it.
much love to everybody. I'm with Dan in about half an hour. He's gonna punish me again.
Is it so you're gonna be on him?
Yeah, I think I'm on Dan's channel again this evening.
Okay.
So it's gonna be more dumbbell work.
Nice. You're looking good. You're looking tan and fit, and bigger.
Not feeling too bad. The weight's finally starting to take again.
What's your body weight?
I think I was up to nearly 154. I think I was at.
Well, you realize that your body weight and my IQ are exactly the same?
7. I'm not that skinny. Come on, bro. What are you doing to me?
Hey, Anna.
I love your sense of humour. It's just, it's next level. People obviously sometimes don't quite get it. But yeah, we're on the same page. It's all good.
Hey, Ryan. Ryan says, my 2 favorite bearded legends. Yes,
my beard's finally, it's come back to something nice, a nice little shape. Didn't take too long.
It's a good length for you.
3 weeks. I'm going to keep it this sort of length.
I like that.
Just at this point where it's not causing me any problem eating food, having bits everywhere, and I can actually drink a cup of tea without getting a wet moustache. So we're okay.
That's my favorite part.
The wet moustache.
The wet moustache.
You're there going.
The
old lip licker.
I was with someone for a very long time who is sound sensitive. So very mindful of like not slurping, not making chewing sounds. Because any little
Easily affected.
right. And that can be a really when someone suffers from that, could be a very upsetting situation for them. Reinhardt says, I love my beard. It's a man thing. Women love them as well. I gotta go check out your beard.
I think I'll have to do the same now. No, I'm like, yeah, it'll be another one of like MK's. MK's got the most amazing beard.
Yes.
That guy is just full of hair. That's him. Right, I'm going to love and leave you. 4 minutes and 10. Happy hump day. Been a pleasure.
You too. Thank you, Jace.
It's nice to hang out with you.
It was nice to hang out with you.
Literally. Speak to you soon.
See you, Jace.
Oh,
so, guys, don't forget to head over. Dan and Jace will be working out on on Dan's channel, he believes. Check out Jace's hey Jace, if you want to drop a link for you and Dan, if you want to drop the link to your Buttercup live stream. Let's see. Hey guys, if you ever get the opportunity to hang out with Karen on one of her live streams, please do. Karen expressed her wish to be monetized, so I bet you we could help her out with that. Yes, it says, Karen, hey, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Hey, Dolly. Hey, Adam, are you still in with us? Sweating and smiling? I'm wondering, how was your recovery? I don't know if I've seen you since the 26th, since the Holy Grail. Hey, Coffee Cake. Coffee says wrong emoji. What was the emoji? I missed it. That's okay. All emojis are good. I don't ever take offense to any emoji. Spencer says, hey, Dolly, how are you? Thank you, Jace. Here's the link for Jason Dan. Set in about half an hour. Coincidentally, I will be finishing up my live stream. I'm gonna get in an hour, so we got about 35 minutes. Sweater Smile says second day after I was sore. Yes, very often after a long ultra. Well, of course, every ultra is long, otherwise it wouldn't be an ultra. I was more sore the second day. Same with back when I was doing heavy squats. Second day, sometimes the third day would be the awfulest. But no niggling issues. Nothing that like lingered. Coffee Cake says, no, Eric, it was SL from my last text. You don't deserve that. Thank you. Thank you for thinking that I don't deserve that. Phoenix says, Ace, gratitude, great workout, much kindness, and we got some light and some love. Thank you, Dolly. Hey, Dolly, how have you been? Says Sweating, good to see you. Let me go all the way back towards the top. There she is. So she's here. Soul Stars. Soul Stars, how are you? As mentioned, you and I have been in sync on a few things. Traveling down that same metaphysical and metaphorical road. Which also means that we can heal together. Kat says, hey, can we remember Praveen in our prayers? and everyone else that's involved in that situation. I spoke with his wife today, and she's also very worried, and she's running his channel right now. Gotcha. Thank you, Kat. I know there was a very brief ceasefire that did not take hold, unfortunately. At least that was the last that I heard. Definitely prayers for Praveen, everyone involved. Iran, or I'm sorry, India and Pakistan. Sebastian says, Yogi, do you have favorite part of your youth? 90s and 80s for music friends. I can't think of, maybe I can think of specifics, but not like hard to explain. Like the 70s. I was born in 65. I have few memories of the 60s. But you know what they say. If you can remember the 60s, you weren't part of the 60s. Different reason for me. I remember Love American Style on TV. Um, in the 70s, the 70s were pretty awesome. It was a very, for me, a very innocent decade. And I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, which is where I still live, one of the most beautiful places in the world. And it was a city that was founded on ideals. Like it has interfaith centers instead of churches, or it did. That has changed a bit because it wanted people of different faith to see each other coming in and out so they could interact. During the 70s, not every part of the county that I live in was integrated yet. But Columbia was, and was founded upon that principle. It had very high income housing areas, middle income, which my family was, and lower income, all living in the same area, different style of houses, but in the same area. Just absolutely loved it. And it was actually pretty wild because we were surrounded by farmland, had farms in the middle of the city. Um, Absolutely beautiful. I loved growing up in the 70s, early 80s. Early 80s, all about the Grateful Dead. Actually, all of the 80s were basically all about the Grateful Dead. Uh, some bodybuilding, lots of backpacking, lots of rock climbing, being outdoors as much as possible, and traveling with the Dead, seeing concerts, dancing, experimenting. Won't get into too much into that, but if you know anything about the Grateful Dead, you know what I'm talking about. And the 90s were fun, but I was drunk for the entirety of it. Literally. Daisy says, I can't believe you were a Deadhead. Yeah, I posted some photos for thumbnails of me and my Deadhead days. Fun times, guys. Russia says, I'm good, Dolly. You fine up alive? Not only was I a deadhead in my little area, I was king of the deadheads. Daisy's laughing. She says, hey to Sebastian. Jason sends some love to Sebastian. I'll have to, Daisy, I'll post some more photos. Super, super long blonde hair. And I would dance and shake it everywhere. Might be why I lost it. I might have shaken all of my hair off. If I could go back in time and go to those dead shows and gather back up again, what a difference that would make. Who knows how many subscribers I would have on YouTube right now with a full head of long blonde hair. Things could be different. Sebastian says, Jason, what time are you live? Jason said in about half an hour, and that was, what, 10 minutes ago, maybe? Daisy says, you had fun and made memories, most of which I lost. Most of the memories I lost. A few I retained. She says, it's soon, Sebastian, just getting ready. Cat says, I would dance and shake it everywhere. Yogi 2025. Did I actually say that? I'm taken out of context, man. That's not fair. I would dance and shake it everywhere. Daisy says, hey, Cat, that was funny. Wilson says, I just called my school work. What? I just called my school work book fact. Why did you call it book fact? Hey, Dan. Dan says, sup, Yog. Looking forward to seeing you and Jace getting in the workout. Always interesting to see, because I've been following Jace for a long time. I'm starting to lag a bit. Been following Jace for a long time. Hey, Toy Pups. You as well. But generally, people join Jace's live stream and do Jace's stuff because he's always got a challenging workout. It's nice seeing him doing stuff with you. Jace says, Mumsy. So Pup says, Yogi Master? Just a yogi. Hey, Lucy. Lucy says, good afternoon, Yogi Eric, and everyone. Good afternoon to you, Lucy. Nice to see you, my friend. Cat says, hi, Daisy May and Sweet Kelly. Sebastian says, Lucy, how are you? So what about you guys? Favorite moments from the past? Any other deadheads here? This comment's for Sissy. I might have been one of the only deadheads in the 1980s who also loved Neil Diamond and wasn't afraid to admit it. Lucy says, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Sebastian? Phoenix says, been online back-to-back doctor's appointments. I went in for CAT scan yesterday. Monday for an MRI with a contrast, then Tuesday surgical interjections. No big deal. Sounds like a big deal. Phoenix, first you, my friend. Cat says that's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, even it's just a lot of being out in medical type procedures. You know what I mean? Phoenix is too much radiation. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't space things out more. Corner Clubhouse says Neil Diamond, Hot Rod August Night. Awesome cover for that album too. If you guys remember it. Hot August Night. You remember Neil Diamond actually looked cool on that album cover. I'm not saying he wasn't cool, but I wouldn't say that he looked cool. Do you guys know that he wrote the I'm a Believer for the Monkees? He wrote Kentucky Woman, and it was covered exceptionally well by Deep Purple. In my opinion, that Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, the two seminal metal bands, the best ever. And yep, you're right. Red Wine. Red Wine. Let's see. Sissy says, West State is Sebastian, Cat and Jack, Reinhardt's Sniper, Hamlada and Kay, Toy Pups, Wilson, Karen, Sweating and Smiling, Ryan, Coffee Cake, Anna, Daisy May, Toy Pups, Lucy, CCC. Did I miss? Yep, there's CCC and Yogi. I was thinking CC. I do think that's everyone. Cat says, hi again, MK. So how's everything, Sissy? Has anyone ever seen Neil Diamond in concert? That would be something. So yeah, I was saying, Sebastian asked me about, you know, favorite memories, favorite uh periods of my youth. Still haven't wrapped my head around thinking of my youth and not being in my youth. Let's see. Wilson says, when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, you would be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned. Is that from a song, Wilson? Hey, a nature guy. Nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. A nature guy is an up and comer in the YouTube world. His channel is going to take off for so many reasons: talent, creativity, but most of all, effort. He's putting in the work. Nature guy says, good to be here. Hey, Rosie. Rosie, nice to see you. How are you? Wilson says, oh, sorry, too much emo music. That's okay. I appreciate, I'm not going to say that I appreciate any kind of music and every music that someone else likes. You know what I mean? I never want to be that type of person that says, because I don't like something, that sucks, or, that's bad music. I grew up a musical snob. For all those I ever judged for their own musical taste, I apologize. It was a misservice. I remember as a kid, someone talking about music, and someone said they like jazz, and I couldn't believe it. You listen to that, it's old people's music. And now I absolutely love jazz. Jazz is my jazz, classical, and old time country. Sorry for the lagging, guys. Um, my music of preference, bluegrass. But as much as I love bluegrass, growing up with bluegrass, um, I got to listen to it in small doses these days. Let's see. Dolly says, "Swipe ups. I've been going crazy on your shorts. Super cute." Also says, "Phoenix. It's a song, The Black Parade by MCR. I haven't heard of them." MK says, "Maybe because now you are old people. That has to be it. Has to be it. No getting around it. At 59, I could kid myself. I'm still in my 50s. 118, I can consider myself middle aged." Sachi says, reminds me of the film The Talented Mr. Ripley, with a jazz theme that captures 1960s Italy and the US. Is that the one with Matt Damon? Phoenix says, no, I'm sorry, Wilson, I was being funny. Not so funny. Nature guy says, I'm working hard on it. I can tell. But you know what? You're also working smart. And you have a good guide. Karen says so to Anna. Hey guys, are you subscribed to our friend Karen? Hey Reaper. Reaper, how are you feeling? I've been asking around. How are you feeling after all those reps? Nature guy says, you're as old as you feel. Good news and bad. I've mentioned before, man, I could still do virtually everything. Maybe not as heavy as I used to do. There's a lot of reasons for that other than age, just because my training was different. Um, it takes me longer to recover than it used to. People says, I'm feeling better today after my workout, Yogi. I bet. A little bit of motion always helps. Rosie says, you're not old. I'm past middle aged. I don't think, but I don't rule out living to be 120, which would make me middle aged right now. As a matter of fact, I feel myself peaking right at this moment. Rosie says, hey to Lucy. But thank you for that, Rosie. Thank you for that vote of confidence. Wilson says, oh, shoot, health tests. Come on. No, not on Friday. You're going to do fine, Wilson. I'm making a prediction. MK says, I always say you aren't allowed to call unless you're at the very least 70. Well, the thing is, when I was a kid, 60 really did seem old. 60 seemed ancient. But it began to be redefined. Both my parents were healthy and active. 60s, in the 70s, my mom developed Alzheimer's. My dad surviving a host of physical issues, but always bounced back and always kept moving, always kept working out. Cat says, yep, 120 sounds good. That gives us 30 years to hang out on the porch. Okay, I'm in. I'll shoot for 120. Lucy says, I'm 32. Just a young lady. Enjoy that youth. What's my age again? By Blink 182. Are they still around? Rosie says, hey, Cat and Jack, how old are you? Cat and Jack is ever youthful. True beauty doesn't age. Which is also good news for you, Rosie. Lucy, and good news for Toy Pups, as well as Dolly, as well as Sissy. Did I miss anyone? I hope not. And Anna. Speaking of true beauty, I came to the remarkable conclusion today that female mallards are actually not to place a judgment, but everyone puts a whole lot of attention on male mallards because of their color, and they are absolutely beautiful. Wilson says, no one will guess my age. I'm going to say 17. Wilson says, I'm the youngest so far. MK says, Cat is 29. Lucy says, she's 32, but look 22. I got you beat. I'm 60, but I look 60. Sven Fallon says, when I was a kid, people who were 50 or 60 were old. Me too. And almost died. They did too. What we do. Agreed. Man, I don't know where this wagon's coming from all of a sudden. They didn't do what we do. Lucy's laughing. I'm 16, turning 17 next month. So I pretty much guessed it, right? Hey, MK, how old are you? don't think I ever asked you that before. Hey, but you never know, Cat. Hanging out in your porch actually might be the fountain of youth. I toy with the thought. I may run another 100-mile race in my 60s. I have a friend who has run 100-mile races, not just one, um, in his 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and now 70s. 5 decades. MK says, Hey, Mercy. Hey, Mercy. How are you? Mercy says, Hi, Eric. Mercy, I very much enjoy your karaoke. MK says, My dad is still acting like a teenager in his late 50s. Well, that's the funny thing. Until my early 30s, which was not a good thing. Wilson says, Don't forget, June 17th is my birthday. We will not forget, especially if you help remind me. And if you show up on your birthday, we'll do some singing for you. Dolly says, Stud Bunny. Such an. I hope he doesn't change it back, by the way. Be your cheering squad. What you guys could do is you could be my crew. And if anyone likes to run, they could be a pacer. Mercy says, Eric, with some love. Thank you so much, Mercy. I really enjoy hanging out with you. So many of you are my non. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, I'm going to be there. I'm going to have you up. I'll leave you run as long as I'm able. Sebastian says, Yogi, when you write, do you compose a rough draft on paper or the computer? Do you just flow and compose? Yes, to both of those. Everything I write is I never edit anything. Occasionally, I might, most of the time, even if you spell something wrong, I'm like, they'll get the point. So yeah, it all flows. It's funny, when I started my blog, my recent blog, or most second that version, the one that I have up now is the one I've had for, I think, 20 years. Hey, William. I was told that in order to get noticed by the algorithms, I needed at least 300 words. But I was a very succinct writer, trying to have an emotional impact with as few words as possible, bare essence. I sort of called it lyrical essays. So I got away from more poetical verse and more into lyrical essays. But now I'm sliding back because I'm writing with the thought of YouTube Shorts in mind. So I'm writing shorter and say in a minute or under. Hey, Signature, my friend, how are you? Speaking of beautiful channels as a reflection of beautiful people, Signature. Probably one of the most warm and welcoming people on all of YouTube. Adam says, June 17th is also my birthday. We'll do some singing for you too. MK says it was his cat after a bath. How's your cat like water? Wilson says, sweating and smiling together. Oh my God, someone that I know. Yo, B-Day buddy. So we're going to talk for about 9 minutes. Thanks for listening as I've read a bit about forgiveness again. It's a question that I'm often asked is, how do you do it? Do you just say, I forgive you and go about your business? You could, but it wouldn't have the emotional impact that we're looking for. What we want is a true forgiveness in which everything is seen fresh within the moment. Anything. I want to be free. And I hope you guys do as well. When we're talking about liberation, talking about being free of our own petty concerns. One says, right now I'm off until Saturday. All right. Today. So you what? Oh, Thursday. Done as liked. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Let's see. Kat says, so Yogi, what's the name of that meditation you taught me that you'll teach anyone that I'm having such primordial? It is, we can call it derivative of, sorry, I don't know why I keep thinking of my hand in front of me. It'll, it is called primordial sound meditation, which is derivative of transcendental meditation, which you've all heard of, which in and of itself is derivative of ancient Vedic yogic meditation. Mantra-based meditation does not require concentration, does not require effort. It is as effortless as you can make it. You simply think a specific tone vibrations, allow that to do the work. Primordial sound meditation teacher through the Chopra. You guys might be familiar with Deepak Chopra. I'm a certified Chopra instructor, as well as being certified pranayama teacher and breath work coach. Transcendental meditation can cost up to $2,000 to learn. If I were to why not 500? Why not 485? I have no idea. But that's hey Skits. But I offer a family and friend. Man, I keep catching myself that stop and go. Is it doing the same thing for you guys? Because I see it on my desktop. I'm gonna try to fix it all by the next live stream. It's either out. So if anyone's ever like, I'd love to learn transcendental meditation of an ancient Vedic meditation. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Gonna be 17. Cat says, if you for about and plug it back in, I have a that I would look for it. I keep catching myself in these awkward positions. You guys ever think that maybe I'm a dragon? I'm just I'm only going to talk for about 4 more minutes when we get the hour in, um, and then I will see about doing that with the router. I suspect it's my phone. Cat's laughing. We had a great talk with Skits early this morning. Thanks for being in the live stream this morning, Skits. I love talking. My favorite thing probably is talking inspiration. I'm going to talk to. Zipper says the cast is on a broken arm for a reason. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Skits is definitely. Fortunately, that it's not your laptop. Wilson, I'm sorry to hear that. Skits says, bless you, Sebastian, bro. Thank you kindly. I just isolate myself after a big gamble loss. I know I shouldn't, but I do. You're a legend, bro. Thanks for being you. Rosie says, have to go. Very busy day today. Bye, Yogi. Much love. Bye to Skits. Bye, Rosie. Sending love your way. Don't forget, guys, Jace and Dan, Poor Man's Gym, they're probably live right now as we speak. My suggestion is give up the struggle. It's a little different than giving up the addiction. Give up the struggle and watch what happens with the addiction. The story that we tell it, the story that we tell our is a story of good, this is bad. It's actually not good or bad. Now the results, and everything always produces a result. The results could leave a whole lot to be desired. You lose some money where you could be paying bills or buying groceries or taking care of a number of things. Ourselves that we have no control. We're addicted. And that's where we find ourselves. Change the story. Investigate. Is it true? Do you have to gamble? Has there ever been a time when you had the urge and you just shrugged and said, nah, I'm not going to do it today. I got something better to do. I'd rather make music. I'd rather go out in nature. I'm glitching all over. Skip says, I don't like admitting it, Sebastian, but hey, being honest is the best policy, brother. And have seen as though we both have the same problem. We can be there for each other. entirely different story. And when your story changes, your life changes. Skid says nature is free too. It's so beautiful. Absolutely. Soulstar says he rewatched. Thank you. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut things down for the afternoon. Patent pending, trademark. Feel free to use it if you want. What did I say? Glitchify, unglitchify. Perfectly usable word. All right, guys. Love you all. I'll see you over at Jace's if you want. And whoever else is going live. Lisa says, see you, Yogi Eric, and everyone. See you. Thanks for hanging out. Says, take care, Yogi and chat. You're all inspirational legends. Love you all. Love you too, Skits. Yeah, I see bad lagging. Yeah. I think it's me. All right, guys. Thank you.